Oh, Jesus.
5, 3, 2.
Good morning. Welcome to the Takeover. I'm your host, Khisha, here with the King of LA Sports, Richard Lopez, bringing you the latest and greatest in all things sports. How are you today, sir?
I'm very good. How about yourself?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you for asking.
Good, good. You look wonderful today.
Oh, well, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I try. Well, it's been about a month since baseball's began, and it's about time that we start going over and analyzing the top teams in baseball today. So why don't we just jump right in and start with the National League and the top three teams coming out of the National League. We have out of the East, the Atlanta Braves with an 18-12 record. Out of the Central Division, we have the St. Louis Cardinals with a 20-11 record.
Yes.
And then we have the San Francisco Giants with 19-12, who actually swept the Dodgers on May 5th.
Yeah, unfortunately that
Unfortunately so. But those are our top three in the National League. What insight can you give us about any or all of these teams?
Well, starting off with the Braves. The Braves, they've had a great year so far, and they're just about to get better. Brian McCann, their all-star catcher, is going to be coming off the disabled list today, actually, and he's on my fantasy team, fantasy baseball team. He's going to be coming off, so look for him to have a huge impact. But it's been led by Justin Upton. He's been he had a flame. Last year, he didn't do too good at the end of the year with the Diamondbacks, but he must have had like a flame reignited when he went to play with his brother over in Atlanta.
So
he plays with his brother.
Brothers.
Yeah, the Upton brothers are two of the three outfielders in Atlanta, along with Jason Hayward, and those guys seem to be vibing very good, and they're off to a great start right now. They're one of the hottest teams in baseball, and Justin Upton, he's batting .278, and he has 27 RBIs, and Freddie Freeman, who's another all-star, he was on the disabled list this year when he started, and now he's back, and he's playing first base for the Braves, batting .313, 380 on base percentage, and his limited time this year, he has 15 RBIs. And that's pretty good for someone that hasn't played through the whole year. And Chris Johnson, actually, it has the best batting average he's a third baseman for the Braves. He's batting .337 with 31 hits through the entire year, and he's a pleasant surprise. He's turned his game up since he was traded from the Diamondbacks. And Jason Hayward, look for him to come out of his shell. He hasn't been doing too well this year, but he's a great player, and I expect him to do big things as the season goes on. So that's my team for the East. They're the hot team in the East.
Yeah, they're sort of reminding me of the Braves of old, with David Justice and back in the day when they were hot.
John Smoltz, Tom Glavine, Chipper Jones.
They're taking it back old school style, right?
Yeah.
Love it.
And in the Central, we have the Cardinals. The Cardinals right now are 20-11. That is the best record in baseball right now, 20-11. And Yadier Molina, one of the Molina brothers, is the emotional leader of that team. He's tearing it up on the field. He's batting .328 with 17 RBIs. He's the catcher, so he's automatically the leader on the field. And Alan Craig, the first baseman, he is the reason why Cardinals fans don't remember Albert Pujols. Because, they don't really talk about that on the news. You don't hear anyone saying how the Cardinals regret getting rid of Pujols. They have this guy waiting for Pujols to be done, and this guy is going to be an all-star this year. Like I said, he's batting .291, 25 RBIs, 10 doubles, a .323 on base percentage. Look for him to keep stepping his game up. And not only are they batting well, they're pitching well as well. Lance Lynn is a pleasant surprise for the Cardinals. He is 5-0 with a 2.75 ERA with 39 strikeouts. And Jaime Garcia, who is the ace of that team, he's 4-1, doing everything that he's expected to do with a 2.25 ERA and 31 strikeouts. They don't seem to miss Albert Pujols whatsoever, and it seems like they made a great decision by letting him go. He's not doing too well right now in Anaheim, and he seems to be on the decline. And so the Cardinals seem to have one of the best pitchers in the National League, Lance Lynn, and they seem to be they're going to be a real problem for any National League team.
Okay, and what about your thoughts on the Giants?
My thoughts on the Giants. When the season first started, I thought for sure a month into it the Dodgers would be first place. I thought they'd probably be undefeated and all that. But it doesn't look like it's working out that way. And the Giants seem to be picking up right where they left off last year. They won the World Series. Pablo Sandoval is batting .331, on base percentage .366 with 24 RBIs. Buster Posey the leader of the team. He's young, but he's still a true leader of that team. He's batting .292 with an on-base percentage of .402 with 19 RBIs. And the surprise about the Giants is they've always had good pitching, but their two best starters, Tim Lincecum and Matt Cain, are not doing good right now.
No, Matt Cain actually just got his first win of the season against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So not doing as well as he was last year.
Yeah, and he barely got that win. Madison Bumgarner is the one who's stepping up to the plate for the Giants right now. He actually has a 1.55 ERA with 36 strikeouts, and their closer, Sergio Romo, is taking it to another level for them. He already has 12 saves this year with a 1.72 ERA, 18 strikeouts. I mean, he's almost to Madison Bumgarner strikeouts, and he's only in there for like an inning out of the game.
And what about Hunter Pence? I know he hit 4 RBIs against the Dodgers as well. So what about him?
Oh, he's having a good year also, and the Giants made a trade for him last year from Philadelphia, and it was a great move. I mean, they got that World Series, and I love his style of play. It's not very traditional. It's just hey, I'm a ball player.
Right.
And I love
old
it.
School,
old
down
school
and
type,
gritty, right.
And down and gritty. And Matt Cain, going back to him, he got that big new contract from the Giants. I mean, he's not delivering at all. He has a 5.57 ERA, which means he's giving up an average of 5 runs a game. And Tim Lincecum has a 4.41 ERA, which is also not good. And these guys are the ones who are supposed to be the leaders. But when you have a team with that good of pitching and that's that well coached, I mean, anything can happen. They got other guys stepping up. And yeah, those are my teams right now. And they have a pretty strong hold on the West right now. I think the Rockies are like a game and a half behind them. But the Giants seem to have way more firepower now. And it's just amazing to me. They're known for their pitching, but their hitting always seems to show up out of nowhere.
Well, that's the staple of a good team, right?
Yeah, that's good coaching, a good team.
You have to have the hitting to win the game, right?
Yeah, it's a very good team they have. No complaints over here. They got a great team.
Okay. And then, so let's move on to the American League, where we have the top teams being the Texas Rangers from the West with a 20-11 record. We have the Detroit Tigers coming out of the Central Division with the 19-11 record. And then we have the Boston Red Sox coming out of the East with 20-11. And I'm thinking also you are going to mention the fact that Miguel Cabrera,
yes.
is one of the best players coming out of the league right now with Detroit.
Let me start with Miguel Cabrera because he deserves a lot of the Kings' time.
Okay.
I mean, this guy is ridiculous. He started out last year. He won the Triple Crown last year, and that means you have to win 3 of the biggest. You have to have the most home runs. You gotta win the MVP, the most home runs, the best batting average, and the most RBIs. So you have to have all those things. It hasn't been done since the 60s, and Miguel Cabrera did it last year. And what does he do for an encore to that? He starts up this season as the best player. He's continuing on his role. He's batting, a month into the season, he's batting .385, a .465 on-base percentage, 36 RBIs. I mean, he's just tearing it up. If he keeps this up, he's going to do the same thing.
So he just picked up where he left off.
He just picked up exactly where he left off. And to me, it's not a surprise because he's a great ball player, you know. And also on the Tigers, they've made some offseason additions. Torrey Hunter, formerly of the Angels. Angel fans are regretting the fact that they let him go.
Right.
Yeah, he's right now, during the first month, he's making the Angels regret the fact they let him go. He's batting .361 with a .406 on base percentage with 16 RBIs. And I mean, they just got some good players. They also have Prince Fielder, who's doing his thing that he normally does. Nothing's, it's very special, but we're so used to him doing his thing. He has a 304 batting average with a .429 on base percentage and 32 RBIs, living up to his daddy's name, Cecil Fielder. He's in Detroit now, so he's living up to his dad's name, if not a little bit better.
Making his own legacy.
Yeah, but the Tigers, they have potentially the best pitcher in baseball. Potentially. Right now it's Clay Buchholz from the Red Sox, but we'll get into him.
Okay.
But Justin Verlander, he's 4-2 with a 1.55 ERA, and he already has 50 strikeouts this year. And he consistently throws speed with his pitches. I mean, he can be in the 9th inning and he's still throwing 97, 98, which is very impressive to me. Yeah, and they also have Doug Fister, who would be an ace on any other team, but the fact that he's with Verlander, he's going to be number 2 in the rotation. He came out to a 4-0 start with a 2.48 ERA, and he has 11 earned runs all year, which is pretty impressive because he's had 7 starts or whatsoever. So, yeah, that's in the Central. The Tigers are the team that's tearing everything up right now. But moving back to we'll get to the Red Sox right now since we brought up Clay Buchholz. He's 6-0 with a 1.01 ERA.
Right, I heard he had 47 strikeouts as well.
Yeah, 47 strikeouts. That is pretty much not giving up any runs during the game. And there was that whole controversy with the sports reporter from Toronto saying that Buchholz was cheating or putting stuff on his arm or whatever, but it was proven not to be true. I mean, they went over the tape and everything. But yeah, he is the ace right now on the Red Sox, and the Red Sox probably, I think, their second best record in baseball. They're up there.
Yes.
But he's the best pitcher, and he's followed by John Lester, who's also having a good year. 4-0, 3.30 ERA, 40 strikeouts of his own. And their offensive leaders are, no surprise, Dustin Pedroia, who's batting .294 with almost a 400 on-base percentage, 75. And then Jacoby Ellsbury, he's batting .279 with a 329 on-base percentage with 12 stolen bases and 38 hits for the whole season. So, yeah, and the Red Sox, they're already playing pretty good, and their third baseman, Will Middlebrooks, he is not playing good at all, but he's an all-star player, and look for him. He's the reason they let Euclid go, because this guy is the young guy. He's a young guy. He's the real deal, and once they start getting hot, he's going to be putting some good offensive numbers for the Red Sox.
So watch out for him.
Yeah, watch out for Middlebrooks.
Okay. And what about the Texas Rangers?
Yeah, the Texas Rangers, they seem to recently under Ron Washington always put up good teams. And to me, I thought they just had talent, but they're very well coached. I mean, this guy, he's the real deal. He was around during that movie Moneyball. Ron Washington, he was one of the coaches on the Oakland Athletics. But they're led by Ian Kinsler, and he's the second baseman for the Rangers, and he's batting .333 with a 401 on-base percentage. He has 6 home runs, 19 RBIs with 3 stolen bases, and right now he is one of the offensive leaders for the Rangers. And as far as the actual leaders in the clubhouse, Nelson Cruz, who's having a great year also, he's a leader in the clubhouse. He's batting .289, and he's a right fielder with a .362 on-base percentage, and he has 7 home runs this year, 23 RBIs. And like I said, he's the leader of the team. And they're pitching. They got Yu Darvish, who is totally turning it up for them right now. He's coming out, and he has a lot of strikeouts already. He's 5-1 with a 2.56 ERA with 72 strikeouts on the year. That's amazing. He is just totally delivering for the Rangers right now. That's why the Rangers were able to let go of C.J. Wilson and others, because they have him. And they also acquired another closer, Joe Nathan, who already has 8 saves this year. And Ron Washington, he's known, since he's been in Texas, to put together quality teams. And they are a winning team, and I don't know what Hamilton meant by saying they're not a baseball town over there in Texas, but I mean, they're a winning town.
Right.
If that's what matters. They might not be a baseball town, but they are a winning town. Yeah.
Right.
They seem to, Josh Hamilton seems to be a figure of the past to them. They don't seem to need him much, if not at all. So, yeah, Rangers, they're real hot right now in the American League West.
Okay. So now we've discussed who's hot. Now let's discuss who's not. Who is your disappointment in the league this year as far as the American League goes?
Okay. Well, in the American League, I'm going to start with the Angels. I was hoping the Angels would at least have a good year this year, represent for Los Angeles. I'm the king of LA sports. Got to hope my LA teams do well. So the Angels, they are nothing at all. Their 2 best hitters, Albert Pujols, batting .237. I mean, 19 RBIs, 5 home runs is an average for a normal player, but not for Pujols. The amount of money he makes, he's to be delivering. And even worse than that, we have Josh Hamilton, who we were just talking about. He's batting .208, which is horrible. I mean, this guy's making over $100 million, and he can't even produce. A .255 on-base percentage, and he has 38 strikeouts on the year. I mean, there are some bright spots for the Angels, and hopefully this will get them to start winning. Mark Trumbo of the Angels, he's batting .294, 364 on-base percentage, and he has 20 RBIs, and I believe he has 7 home runs right now.
Okay.
So he's tearing it up for the Angels, one of the only bright spots. And good news for all the Angel fans out there, Mike Trout they're starting to see a Mike Trout sighting, and Mike Trout is starting to tear it up.
And he actually did pretty good against the Orioles, even though they lost 8-4. He did put up his 5th homer and his 5th stolen base. So it does look like he's picking up and becoming a little bit more productive now.
Yeah, although he's not the top prospect in baseball right now, Bryce Harper is the top prospect in baseball. And if you don't believe me that I said it, you can check out my most recent shows. But yeah, Trout is right there. He's number 2 prospect in baseball. And he's starting to get hot. His average was around 250 a few weeks ago. Now it's moving up to 275. He has 5 stolen bases, 5 home runs, and his 20 RBIs. And it's scary news for other teams in the AL West if Trout starts to get hot. Because if he gets hot, the Angels are gonna rally around him because he's that young energy that a lot of teams need. Yeah, and so moving on with their pitching, they acquired from the Texas Rangers C.J. Wilson, and he's doing good this year. I mean, he's 3-0 start with a 4 earned run, 4.02 ERA, but I mean he hasn't lost yet, and he is with Jared Weaver out. He is the ace of that squad. So he's got to stay productive in order for them to do anything. But a lot of times when he pitches, they don't get offensive help. They have all these studs in the lineup, and they're not getting any offensive help. So if they can get some offensive help for their pitching, the Angels will do good. And just a side note, Peter Burgess, he's a bright note for the Angels right now. He's doing pretty well this year, .313 batting average, .370 on base percentage. So
they're the worst, but they're not that bad.
No, they're second to last place along with the Dodgers. But we're expecting a lot more because of the payrolls.
They have a bright future.
Yeah, the payrolls put into these teams that we're talking about right now. We're expecting a lot more. So yeah, that's my problem with the Angels. And
then out of the National, who's your worst?
It is by far. Okay, I love the Dodgers, but I'll be the first one to tell you when they are not doing good. And right now, they are not doing good. And they're going to have the same. Don Mattingly is on the hot seat. And I forgot to mention that for the Angels. The Angels, Mike Scioscia is on the hot seat. So if they don't fix whatever problem they have right now, Scioscia's going to be gone.
He's out of there.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, but that's just what my sources have told me. And Mattingly, it's the same deal. He has everything he needs to win a championship with the Dodgers, and he's just not producing. This is, I believe, his second full season going as a Dodger coach, and he's just not doing anything. I mean, granted, the actual core members of the Dodgers aren't doing too much right now. Matt Kemp's batting .263 with only 13 RBIs. Andre Ethier's batting .250 with 9 RBIs. And everyone was saying how those guys were going to be the core and how they're going to take it up. They'll be the solid part of the franchise. It's the new guys that have been keeping it afloat. Carl Crawford, a pleasant surprise to everybody. I knew he was going to be good. A lot of people were saying he wasn't going to show up until halfway through the season. Right away, he's batting .311, .383 on base percentage, 6 stolen bases. And Adrian Gonzalez, he's actually playing an all-star form. He's batting .337 with a .400 on base percentage with 22 RBIs. And the only bright spot on the pitching for the Dodgers is Kershaw. He's doing his thing. He's 3-2 with a 1.66 ERA, 52 strikeouts, but he's not getting any no offensive production. These guys, I mean, they're stacked from top to bottom pretty much, and they can't seem to put runs on the board. And it's just frustrating as a Dodger. It's frustrating as a Dodger fan. They have everything they need, the highest payroll in the history of baseball, and they can't even come through. And I'm sorry, this has to be the coach's problem. This is the coach's fault. If they don't win this year, it's a matter of leadership on that team. And these guys, they make millions of dollars. They need someone to get in their face and tell them they don't care about the millions of dollars they make, that they want them to play. And these guys, they need to get back to the level of the game. Kemp needs to step up as the leader of that team because it's his team. I don't care who they bring on the team. It's Matt Kemp's team. You ask anyone in Los Angeles, they'll tell you this is Matt Kemp's baseball team. So I put all the blame on Kemp, and he deserves the blame and just like when he starts doing good, I'll give him all the credit. It's his team, it's his town, and it's a whole new blue, and hopefully the whole new blue has Matt Kemp right there. So yeah, I'm a little frustrated, as you guys can tell.
I see.
But it's okay because I'll praise them when they're doing good, but I'm going to be the first one to tell them what they're not, if they're not doing good.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's my problem with the Dodgers right now. And hopefully we talk again in a couple weeks. And
they're doing a little bit better.
Yeah, hopefully my outlook's different.
So too.
But right now I'm mad. So, yeah, we'll leave it at that. The two LA teams definitely need to, they need to step up their game. Because I know I'm turning up my game.
Okay.
So.
Well, that is all that we have for you today from the wonderful, wonderful world of baseball. You can catch Richard Lopez on his YouTubes and his Twitter pages.
Yes, you can catch me on Twitter at Rich Lopez, Kolase. You can catch me on YouTube, the King of LA Sports channel, and you can catch me on Instagram under the King of LA Sports.
And you can catch me on YouTube at Khisha Brij'on. We thank you for joining us here at the Takeover. Until next time,
don't be afraid to roll the dice.
Have a good day.